All right, so let's get right into it. Think about all that free time you have, maybe during a vacation or a break from college. That time is pure gold. It's the perfect chance to not just chill out, but to build some skills that can seriously change the game for your future. And in this explainer, we're going to break down 10 of the absolute most important ones.
Look, we all need a break. You've definitely earned it. It's time to rest, have some fun, catch up on sleep. But let's be real, you can't sleep for the entire vacation, right? After a while, you start to get a little bored. You start looking for something to do, something that actually feels meaningful. And that's exactly where these skills come into play.
So we're going to start with the basics, the foundational tools. In a world that is completely digital, mastering these skills isn't just a nice to have, it's a flat-out necessity.
First up, touch typing. Just think about how much time you spend every single day writing emails, reports, or even just DMs. Being able to type fast without staring at the keyboard, that's a superpower. It saves you a massive amount of time. And hitting that average speed of 48 words per minute, it's not some crazy, impossible goal. You can totally get there with just a couple of weeks of practice.
Okay, now let's talk about ideas. Get this. Some studies suggest that the average person has something like 6,000 thoughts or ideas every single day. But here's the problem. Most of them, if not all of them, just vanish. Poof, they're gone before we even have a chance to grab onto them.
And that brings us to the second crucial skill. You've got to jot down your ideas. This quote says it all, right? Your brain is an idea factory, not a warehouse. When you write an idea down, you free up all that mental space for even more ideas to come in. I mean, think about it. Every amazing app on your phone, every product you love, it all started as one single idea that somebody decided to write down and do something about. The third skill is learning how to do effective research. Yeah, sure, anyone can type a question into Google, but can you find exactly what you're looking for fast? Can you connect the dots between different sources to see the bigger picture? And maybe most importantly, can you tell if what you're reading is actually true? That right there, that's the real skill that separates a quick search from powerful learning.
Okay, let's keep building on this. We're moving on to our next set of skills. These are less about the tools you use and more about how you manage yourself, how you organize your own mind and your most precious resource, your time.
Planning. That's skill number 4. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like using Google Maps. You have to know where you are right now, and you have to know where you want to go. If you don't have a destination, then it doesn't matter which way you turn because you're not really going anywhere. Now here's the key. The plan itself isn't set in stone. It's going to change. But the active planning is what matters because it forces you to actually think about where you're headed. Skill number 5 is focus. And man, this might be one of the hardest ones to build today. Think about the great scientists and artists of the past. Their secret weapon wasn't just that they were smart, it was that they didn't have distractions. They could dive deep into a subject for hours. We, on the other hand, are in a constant war against notifications, DMs, and that endless scroll of short videos.
So how do you even begin to fight back? Well, you have to train your focus, just like a muscle. And a really great way to start is with something called the Pomodoro technique. It's super simple. You work with total focus for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break. It trains your brain to ignore that little itch to get distracted, and it proves that, yeah, you can actually survive without checking your phone for a little while.
Okay, skill number 6 is what you might call a meta skill. It's learning how to learn. It's kind of crazy. We spend all these years in school, but nobody really teaches us how our brains actually absorb information. Simple techniques can be a total game changer. For instance, active recall is basically trying to pull information out of your brain from scratch, like closing the book and explaining a concept out loud. And spaced repetition is just reviewing stuff at longer and longer intervals. Mastering these two will help you learn anything way faster for the rest of your life.
Now we get to the fun part. These are the skills that help you take all that stuff in your head and turn it into real, tangible value out in the world, both for other people and, for your own wallet.
7th on our list, sales and marketing. And nothing shows its power quite like this story. There was a marketer who had a pretty simple idea, he shared it on Twitter, and it brought in a flood of new customers for his company. The result? They tripled his salary. Tripled. It just goes to show you that skills that directly make money have this unique power to dramatically boost your own value. And speaking of value, our 8th skill is financial management. We learn all about biology and history in school, but almost no one ever teaches us about money, how to manage it, how to make it grow. A really fantastic place to start is the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It gives you a simple, really easy to understand foundation for how money actually works.
Number 9 is negotiation. And the key here is to shift your entire mindset from win-lose to win-win. Instead of just trying to get the biggest piece of the pie for yourself, you try to figure out how to make the entire pie bigger for everyone involved. So, for example, instead of just fighting over the price, maybe you can agree on a faster delivery time that helps you both out. It's all about finding a creative solution where everybody walks away feeling good.
And now, for our final skill. And this isn't just another thing on the list. No. In a lot of ways, this is the master key. It's the one that unlocks your access to all of the other skills.
So you might be wondering, where did all this information come from? Where did the knowledge for learning to type, and to focus, and to negotiate, where did it all come from?
The answer is actually pretty simple. It was all learned from English language sources. The best books, the best online courses, the most cutting-edge research, it's almost all published in English first. Whether we like it or not, that's just the language of global knowledge right now. And mastering it gives you a direct pipeline to the world's best and most current information.
So how does this all come together in the real world? Let's wrap this up by weaving all 10 of these skills into one short, happy story of what success could look like.
So imagine this journey. An idea just pops into your head, and because you're ready, you capture it immediately. You focus, you do your research, and you realize, hey, this actually has potential. To fill in what you don't know, you learn from the best courses out there, which happen to be in English. Then you plan out the whole project, you negotiate to get the funding you need, and finally you market it brilliantly to the world. See, this isn't some fantasy. It's the real, tangible path that you can build for yourself by combining these skills. These skills are literally the building blocks for a successful future, and each one makes the next one you learn even more powerful. So the only real question left is, which one are you going to start with?